If the data you wish to import into LSS doesn't conform to one of the standard data formats, then LSS is able to import virtually any generic XYZ ASCII file. In the LSS test data there is a folder called example XYZ data, and that is the file I'm going to import. We select Input, Convert from XYZ file, and either browse for that XYZ file or drag and drop. The fields between the individual data items are likely to be delimited by character, and by character we mean space, tab, comma, etc. Very rarely would you get data which is delimited by column. If you are continually importing the same format of data, then LSS at the end of the first conversion will prompt us to save that format away for next time. I'll cover that in a few moments. It's now showing us the top few lines of the data, and we can see that the first field represents the feature code, followed by the eastings, then the northings, then the level. It appears to be comma separated, which is the default setting anyway. If you're not sure whether you've correctly identified the format of this data, then if you click in what you think is to be a single field and it highlights just that field, then you know that you've got the correct delimiter. If we untick comma and we click into one of the fields, it's highlighted the whole line. So it's clear that we haven't got the correct delimiter. Sometimes there might be a space between the fields, in which case you only want to consider more than one space as a single delimiter, in which case you would select this option here, which is treat consecutive delimiters as one. Let's get on and define the format. I'm clicking in the first field. That is the feature code, which is field 1. That field is the eastings, the northings, and the level. There is no point number or observation number, so we can untick that. If the data needs to be offset by a particular amount, for example you wanted to remove the first 3 pre-decimal places, then you could offset it by minus 100,000, etc. Or you can also, again, if the data is in the wrong units, then you can multiply eastings, northings and level during this conversion. Some data files will have a set of headers, and that may be just like a column heading at the top of the file, or a file description, in which case you may wish to ignore the top number of lines that represent those headers rather than the data. LSS has now recognized the format of that data and it's attempting to convert it into an LSS load file. At this point it will check the feature codes in that file against the currently loaded LSS legend. Well, I'm not going to consider any feature code conversions, so I'm selecting the option No More Feature Code Conversion Requests. It has found 1202 coordinate observations and has created an LSS load file from that data. This is the point at which we can save that XYZ conversion file for next time. This could be because you receive the same data sets from the same supplier every time and you don't want to have to go through and confirm each field. And we now load the data. If we input convert from XYZ again, this is where we would select that XYZ description file, and if we just edit that file, it contains the field numbers, delimiters, multipliers and so on.